I know these mountains like the back of my hand.
No one's that good, Mr. Green. Not in the dark.
We got torches.
We'll wait for Sergeant Maloney.
Just who do you think you are, Hogan? That's my son up there. You can't stop us going.
Look, you go and get yourself lost, and that'll make more trouble for everyone.
He's right, Alan. For all we know, the sergeant may have already found them.
And where the hell are they?
There's coffee over here, Alan. Perhaps you better come and have some.
Come on, darling. Gary knows what he's doing.
They're worried. Don't mean nothing, Geary.
Yeah, I know that, Mr. Harris.
No sign.
Where did you look?
We went up the main track to Claremont.
We'll take the gully track. Come on.
Not tonight, Alan.
Now, look, Jack. We're not a bunch of kids. We can look after ourselves.
No one's going up there tonight. Look, it's impossible to get lost in the gully, Jack. I say we should give it a try.
They didn't go there.
How would you know that?
Jeff Forrest told us they were going up to the peak. We found their lunch fire about 2 hours' walk from here.
Well, that's something. We know they got that far.
Yeah. We'll set out at first light.
Now, look, you can't stop us.
Listen. My way, or you go back to town.
You better know what you're doing.
Bet you blokes could do with a cup of coffee.
Yeah, sure can.
I've been saving for this holiday for years. Planned on 3 months, only left 2 weeks ago.
Do you know where they are?
Somewhere in Italy right now. They ring once a week to talk to the young'un.
The police could trace them for you.
What the hell's the time? Why didn't somebody wake us?
Jack Maloney wanted everybody to get as much sleep as possible. They're only leaving just now.
Come on.
You must have breakfast first.
No, thanks. No.
You should eat.
Sir, where are those sandwiches? They'll do.
There's coffee in the flasks there.
Morning, all. Hope everybody's had a good breakfast.
Can we stop mucking around? We've got food with us.
That's a good idea, but what are you going to carry those in? You need both hands free for some of those cliffs.
Okay.
You'll soon get tired without any food in your stomach. Gary, there are a couple of knapsacks in the Toyota.
Righto, Sarge.
Look, don't bother.
Yeah, just a minute. Where do you think you're going?
To look for my son. Do you mind?
Yes, I do. I'm coordinating this search, Mr. Powell. I don't want people running all over the countryside getting lost.
Oh, give him a go, Alan. OK, Bert, what do we do?
Well, you two go with Constable Hogan. I think the ladies should stay here at this stage. Report in every hour.
Righto, Sarge.
We're up on Haley's Ridge. How are you doing down there?
Well, the boys from Wilga are covering an area to the north of you. Gary's with Powell and Green. Haven't heard from them yet.
Well, we'll call in again at 10 o'clock.
Right. How are the ladies, Eric?
Oh, walk in the fresh air will do them good. Said I'd go and get them if we get any news.
Good idea. Of course, we could contact your son and his wife within a matter of hours, but where they are, it's night time. Well, they couldn't help.
I don't know what's the right thing to do.
Well, it's your decision, of course. But after all, they did leave the boy in your care. They knew you'd do the right thing by him.
Portable 2 to base.
Go ahead, Gary.
We've found one of them, Sarge. Barry Forrest.
Only one? Where are the others?
We've got a problem. The boy lost half of his map and can't tell us the exact position.
Well, where did you find him?
Wandering along Chinaman's Creek. He'd walked for miles. But that's not all. His father's in a bad way. He says he's an asthmatic.
Hey, Sarge? Gary's found one of them.
They're bringing him down now.
Why is he by himself?
Well, your husband sent it for help. Apparently, he had an asthma attack and lost his inhaler. You didn't say he was sick.
I didn't think it. He isn't sick, really.
But he can't move.
Well, not when he's having an attack, but he hasn't had one for years. The inhaler always stops it.
Jeff never said he suffered from asthma.
He didn't want anyone to know.
Why?
His job. People seem to think it's a disease. When we lived in Melbourne, he lost promotions because of it.
How selfish can you get?
Well, that's not the only reason. He didn't want people treating him like an invalid.
He had no right to take the boys knowing he was sick.
So that's not fair. He's been on lots of camps and nothing like this has ever happened before.
You should have told us.
Sergeant Kennedy, I would have, but it was the last thing on my mind.
You're a liar. You knew all the time you couldn't look after Adam.
Come on.
You're a liar.
She's upset. Forget it.
Yes, that should be easy for you. Just like you forgot to tell us about your husband. I think you're as selfish as he is. How's Dorothy?
Oh, she's asleep. The doctor gave her an injection of some kind.
I'll go and sit with her.
Thanks, sir.
Anything?
No.
How could he do it? Doesn't the man have any brains?
But if he can't move, how can he look after the boys? I mean, they could wander off anywhere.
He's probably sending them off in all different directions for help.
No, that'll be enough, Mr. Powell. People are upset enough with that listening to your wild theories.
If anything happens to my son...
Now, look, I'm fed up with your threats. Nobody asked you to let your son go on this trip. Anyway, you should have been with him.
Oh, so it's my fault.
It's not Jeff's.
He put your grandson in danger. What are you going to tell his parents? Or haven't you thought of that?
I have.
Look, Mr. Powell, why don't you go for a walk? Cool down. You're no help here.
I should be in that helicopter.
There was no room.
There bloody well was. What do you think I am, blind?
Out.
Listen, you can't talk to me like that.
Out. You'll be informed when there's any news.
Is Dorothy feeling better?
Yes. Don't go in there.
Made sure his son got down. Gave him the map. What a good it did. My boy would have made a better fist of it.
Would you have made the decision to send another man's son?
You make him sound like some kind of hero or something. The man's a liar and a fool.
Keep it down a bit, Alan.
You think exactly the same as I do. You're just too mealy-mouthed to say it.
I'm as much at fault as you are, if that's what you mean.
Okay, we should have gone. But if I'd known about this illness of his, I'd have never agreed to the trip. The police seem to be more worried about him than the boys.
They're doing all they can.
She shouldn't be here. Look how she upset Dorothy before.
Isn't it time you went for another walk, Mr. Powell?
Silly old fool.
Shut up.
Helicopter to base.
Go ahead, Gary.
We've spotted Sergeant Maloney and Steve, but no sign of the others. We're going to try a lower altitude.
Mind how you go.
No worries, Sarge.
You'd think he'd have enough sense to set up some kind of signal fire or something.
Who's going to control it? 4 boys? That would be stupid, Mr. Powell.
No one can be that sick.
You satisfied?
They told us outside you'd found them.
That's right, Eric, yes. Spotted by the helicopter. Peter's fine, so you won't have to make that overseas call after all.
How's Jeff?
He wasn't seen, Mrs. Forrest. Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, he could be behind a tree or sitting down on the ground. You couldn't expect him to be jumping up and down like the boys now, could you?
No.
Helicopter to base.
Go ahead, Gary.
We've landed, Sarge. Be about a 15-minute walk from here, I reckon. I'm leaving now.
Right. Take them straight to the hospital, Gary. Doc Mitchell will want to check them over.
Can the boys speak to their parents, Sarge?
Yes, certainly. Hang on a minute. Have to know sometime. Oh, Gary, did Jack say he wanted any help?
He could do with it, Sarge. I thought I'd go back there after we dropped off the boys. The Wilga police might be able to reach them.
Right. Right, put the boys on, Gary.
Are you there, Granddad? It's me, Peter.
How are you, mate?
Beaut. Never ridden a helicopter before. You didn't tell Mum and Dad.
No. You'll really have a story to tell them when they get home.
Hi, Mum. G'day, Dad.
Hello, Craig.
We had to leave our stuff behind, Dad. They made us.
That's all right.
Did you see the boy?
Yeah. Gary brought him to the hospital just as I left. Gay, I saw Barry at the hospital. He wants to see you.
The doctor doesn't want her to leave until she's ready. Got to see for herself.
When will he?
They're bringing him down now.